Hello everyone, for today's video I am finally introducing Burcold, my Freezer Race character. If you guys have any moveset theme suggestions or character builds, feel free to leave them in the comments and the best ones will be used for future videos. And of course, if you do enjoy these videos and you think they deserve it, please leave a like. So, getting into the moveset, I based this around pretty much key attacks because there is a very nasty combination you can do with Fake Burst, then the Triangle Stamina Break, and then hitting them with Cooler Supernova, and then immediately following up with Dodoria Launcher. But because my character at the moment is level 65-ish, I think, I had to play with limitations on. I mean, I normally play with those on anyway, so I don't really care. But the problem there is that everyone will be set to level 50, so I would have less key, so I couldn't use this combination for this video. Maybe I will at some point in the future. Sudden Storm and Evil Explosion just for the utility, and they're very good key attacks in general. Maximum Charge and Dauntless Twin Star because, like what I've already said, this is a very key centric moveset, so I do need to make sure I have a lot of key and I can regenerate key whenever I want. So I've got Dauntless Twin Star there to act as a sort of portable shield, so I'll have a few extra seconds to use Maximum Charge. So as we go into the first fight for this video, and the first ever fight using Burcold, my opponent picks Beerus. At least in my experience, you just don't see a good Beerus play. It's just not something that's common, unlike Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken Goku, and Hit. So I know I've said this before, and I honestly mean no harm or malicious intent when I say this, but something that really just makes my blood boil with like frustration is when people continuously use stamina in situations when they just don't need to use it. Like right here, he just, after he's vanishing, he's using the homing dash, and like how many bars of his stamina did he just use there? Like at least 5. I don't know, I just find it very frustrating. It's like when you're trying to control a physics game like Surgeon Simulator and you're telling the game to do something but it's not doing it. Like that skin crawling rage of like frustration. That's like that's what I feel here. I don't know why, it's just a bit weird. Like it's gonna benefit me ultimately because I'm kicking his ass right now. But yeah, it's just something I find very frustrating and irritating. But as we return to this fight, I do have Evil Explosion equipped, and for some reason, I thought Evil Explosion and other attacks such as Kamehameha and Garikon, I thought that they warped if you're in your golden form, but it looks like they don't, so I don't know why I thought it would warp if you're in your golden form. I may have just made some sort of massive mistake. So going forward, I may have to replace Evil Explosion with something else. So here I go for Fake Blast, and for some reason it doesn't blind him, you know, it doesn't temporarily paralyse him, which I thought was a bit funny. And if it did, I would have been able to use the Triangle Stamina Break to send him flying down and hit him with the Supernova, which would have definitely finished him off. And here, it looks like he's panicking a bit because all he's doing is going for the Rush Ki Blast, and you just saw right there, I perfect blocked it, so it makes sense to me to think that he's not going to go for it again because, like I've already said, I've perfect blocked it. So I broke his guard there, boot going to a clash, so now I actually do hit him with the Fake Blast, and then I hit him with the Cooler Supernova. He does break my guard, which in that situation, that was probably the best thing he could have done. I'm not too sure if that Beerus is running after Image Strike, but if it was, then he should have used that. But with that being said, that was enough to finish that guy off. Let's see what happens as we go into the second fight for this video. So getting into the second fight, I believe my opponent this time is an Earthling, which I never seen him being used, and I was hoping he was going to have the Burcol Pro transformation. I don't think he does, so that's going to suck a bit. But it's a bit funny that whenever I do play as when I make a new character, yeah, that's not saying, I find all these interesting people online. Like I just said, this guy is an Earthling, and I believe later on I encounter someone who's playing as a female Majin. So after this clash, he makes a massive mistake by going for the ×4 Kaioken Kamehameha. And from there, because he powered it up, I had more than enough time to dash back into him, go for the Triangle Stamina Break, and then hit him with the Cooler Supernova. And I'm not really sure if he gave up at this point or if he just got very unlucky, like his controller was acting up. I doubt it. But, I mean, he does go for Potential Unleashed. I think he went for it there, but he does something else here. Like, unless he powered back down from it and went back into it, I don't know. But it does feel like here he's given up. I mean, we're like less than a minute into the fight and I already have a giant advantage over him. I have more stamina and way more health than he does. Now, granted, he does have a lot of ki, and if he actually traps me in the ×4 Kaioken Kamehameha, there's not a whole lot I can do given I have Fake Blast. But there I went for the Freezer Race Ki Blast after he turned golden, and it hit him before his Kamehameha could have registered, I think, I don't know. But very quick second fight, let's see what happens as we go into the next battle for this video. So given I'm running Fake Blast, like I am running a very aggressive moveset in terms of damage and the attacks I actually have. Now, there's not a whole lot I can do defensively. So my opponent this time is running Perfect Kamehameha and the Super Ki Explosion Ultimate. If either of those two hit me, regardless of how much stamina I have, I'm going to be completely screwed because you can't block Perfect Kamehameha, and Super Ki Explosion just really stings. So I do need to be painfully careful now because, again, if either of those two hit me, it's going to really hurt. Now, granted, I could use my evasive to get a few seconds, probably no more than 2, I'm not exactly sure at the moment, but I could use my evasive to temporarily protect myself, but it's just going to be exactly that. It's going to be temporary, and if it hits me with Super Ki Explosion while he has maximum ki and I have, as an example, max stamina, I'd have to use my evasive twice, which is pretty much all of my stamina to, you know, protect myself for a short amount of time. And again, it's just something that it'll be best if I just, you know, play a bit more cautiously. For example here, I had a feeling he's going to offer Super Ki Explosion, hence why I flew away. It did kind of catch me, but I was lucky there, and I was just able to get out of it. So here I'm thinking, well, a few more hits and I'll be able to finish him off. But of course, just as I am about to beat him, he breaks my stamina, so fair play. And I'm just very grateful that he used Super Ki Explosion earlier on rather than using it right now, because, I mean, let's be fair, if he'd used Super Ki Explosion right now and I wasn't able to protect myself in any way, it probably wouldn't have been enough to finish me off. But there, I catch him with the Fake Blast, and right now I just want to finish off the fight because, again, Perfect Kamehameha will really sting. So I was able to finish him off there. Let's see what happens as we go into the 4th fight for this video. So like I mentioned earlier, I am now fighting a female Majin, which it's always nice to see someone use a Majin character, because I would say they, by them, the least used. With the Mechins, at least you can turn giants. I mean, yes, it is a gimmick, but with Majins, I wouldn't necessarily say that turning into a copy and paste of Kid Buu is a gimmick. I don't know, that may just be me, but I do use the Golden Transformation as soon as, so I get a bit of a damage bonus and speed increase because, like what I've already said, she's a Majin and I just don't have that much experience against them, so I'm not exactly that polished. To me, it makes sense that she'll be running Potential Unleashed rather than the Purification form or Kaioken. I forgot to mention this, but she's also running Super Kamehameha and Omega Shenron's ultimate called something like minus energy power ball or power bomb. I don't know, it changes between each game. I think in one game it was called negative karma death ball or something like that, I don't know, but I'm mentioning that because it makes sense to me to think that she's going to be using Super Kamehameha for utility, like to try and finish up a combo or to use it in a situation like this. So fair play for using it right here, but I'm mentioning that because, like I said, it makes sense to think that she's using Super Kamehameha for utility and as her main ultimate and the minus energy power ball if the situation arises to use it. For example, if she breaks someone's stamina and then uses it immediately after. So she probably doesn't use it all that often, but it's something that's there just in case. And right here she goes for Potential Unleashed. I was going to say Kaioken, but look, I mess up here and go for the Darkness Twin Star or the Twin Darkness Star, whatever it's called, and try and charge her up. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm not getting desperate, but I should probably start, and try and wrap this up, because if I'm not careful, she could really beat me here. Like, she can really turn the tables immediately, and I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Thankfully, I get a perfect block up and make her vanish. And right here, I go for the Fake Blast, which was a bit risky in case it wouldn't have registered, but thankfully it did. Then I break her guard with the Triangle Stamina Break to send her flying down, and finish her off with the Supernova. So that was a very close 4th fight. Yeah, it was a very fun fight, and I think I would have had a better chance if I had just fought more Majins online, but as of right now, I haven't. So that being said, let's get into the final fight for this video. I actually have 3 builds for Burcold that I could run. The one that I've been using throughout the entire video so far, which is, the Golden Burcold build with the Dodori launcher and Cooler Supernova. The build I'm using for this fight, which is pretty much just a time skip build with Supernova. Yes, it's a gimmick, but it's very fun to use, I will admit. And thirdly, but I haven't showed it off in this video, I may do in the future, is, well, it's pretty much a build that I use for Burcol, it's my competitive build. The only difference is, I believe I replaced Shining Slash with the Rakasha Claw, or whatever it's called. I just refer to it as the R Claw because it's just easy to say in my opinion. And I only realised this earlier as I was recording this, that Shining Slash is just exclusive for Saiyans and humans. Well, definitely for Saiyans. I'm not actually too sure for humans because I just haven't checked. But I mean, I just never realised that, and I suppose it makes sense given I've never encountered anyone, even in Xenoverse 1, a Frieza character who's actually used Shining Slash. So I just thought that was very funny, and I was pretty amused by that because given how much I do play Xenoverse, like, I'm still learning things. But he did break my guard, and I went for his swing kick, and I don't know if he's given up or something here, or if the connection was just really bad. But I believe he went for the dimension right there, I'm not too sure, but because I went for the time skip, whatever it was, I can't remember, like, I was able to cancel the tails, and from here, I mean, the fight is pretty much over now. Like, I mean, I go for the second jump spike here again, so, but that's going to be enough to finish that guy off. So that being said, thank you guys for watching the video. I really do hope you enjoyed this. And with that being said, I will see you next time.